Vance Boelter, the man charged in the shootings of two Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses, is set to appear in federal court tomorrow. He'll have two hearings. One will determine whether he'll be released as he awaits trial. In the early hours of Saturday, June 14th, State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette were shot at their home in Champlin by the man identifying himself as a police officer. State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark were shot and killed about an hour and a half later. Boelter is facing state and federal charges in those crimes. And tonight we are getting a look at more court documents, and we are also hearing from Boelter's wife for the very first time. Fox 9's Karen Scullin joins us now. So Karen, what has his wife had to say?
Well, it was a letter that actually came from her criminal defense attorney that she's recently hired. And that's interesting in by itself because she's currently not charged with any kind of a crime. But we did receive this letter from Jenny Boelter via her attorney from the Hallberg law firm. And it says in part, "We are absolutely shocked, heartbroken, and completely blindsided. This violence does not at all align with our beliefs as a family. It is a betrayal of everything we hold true as tenets of our Christian faith. We are appalled and horrified by what occurred, and our hearts are incredibly heavy for the victims of this unfathomable tragedy." Now, Jenny, the good letter goes on to say that she was not pulled over by police, that she's been cooperative. And then it goes on to say that we thank law enforcement for apprehending Vance and protecting others from further harm. So she clearly, is trying to sort of explain herself a little bit, but also explaining that she is cooperating with police. And but they have collected evidence from her. If you remember, in that morning when she met up with police in Onamia, they got $10,000 in cash. They got the family passports and guns out of her vehicle. So police seem to be investigating her, but at the same time, again, she has not been charged with any kind of a crime at this point.
Yeah, which is pretty interesting. And Karen, you also have been looking through some of these court documents. What are some of the things that stuck out to you? Well,
these court documents, there's something released every day, every few days, kind of an unsealed search warrant, things police were learning along the way as they were searching for Vance Boelter. One of them said that when they met up with Jenny Boelter in Onamia, that she was cooperative. So they agree with that portion of it. But then it goes on to say these court documents go on something serious. So it's kind of a little bit of a back and forth there. She did then, with more conversation, indicate police that she had in fact received text messages from her husband Vance indicating that she needed to go to her parents' home. And if you remember, that was part of their sort of bailout plan. Investigators saying that Vance Boelter and his wife Jenny were preppers, kind of prepping and preparing for something catastrophic or awful to happen. And that part of that plan was for her and the family to go to her parents' home. And then also she acknowledged when asked about the mask that her husband wore allegedly during these crimes, that she acknowledged that he had recently purchased masks for his security business on Amazon.com. So unclear why, these rubber old man masks would be needed in a security business, but that is in fact what the court documents said. No doubt a lot more to come in this case and a lot more from future court documents.
Yeah, and still a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Karen, thank you.
Well, and another update in this investigation into the deaths of Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark. The BCA has now identified the Brooklyn Park police officer who opened fire on the gunman who killed them. According to the BCA, officer Zachary Baumtrog and another officer went to the Hortman's house to check on them as word started to spread that State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette were shot in their Champlin home. At the house, they encountered that gunman in the driveway. Shots were fired and Baumtrog fired back, but the gunman was able to escape. A suspect later identified as Vance Boelter was arrested the next day in Green Isle. Officer Baumtrog was wearing a body camera and the BCA is reviewing that video. He is on standard administrative leave. Well, tomorrow the Hortmans and their dog Gilbert will all lie in state in the state capitol rotunda. From noon until 5, the public will be allowed to visit the Hortmans in the capitol rotunda, and the Hortmans will be then laid to rest after a private funeral on Saturday morning. We will have coverage for you on Fox 9 and Fox Local.